Um, yeah, so I'm with Finesse, Matt Nelson. We're weaving Indigenous values and technology to manage fire risk. Work for the First Nations Emergency Service Society, and we're talking about how we're moving the bar forward with wildfire management today. So first off, I wanted to thank Alex for welcoming us to Kamloops, Cookshan Cow. My traditional language is Ukhumeuch, and it's very close to the Tecumloops. So I believe it's Cooksham is thank you, and my language is Cookshan Cow. So I'm a learner. So in my language, we're trying to revitalize the language as well, and we say, "Am I a learner?" Everybody's a learner at first, and then I'm a listener, and I'm a speaker. So I'm a learner. So that was like very beautiful for me to hear her talking this morning. So I'm very proud of her. So just a little bit of background on First Nations Emergency Services Society. So it started off in like the late 80s, early 90s type thing, and it was mostly built around structural fire. Moving forward, we realized that my predecessors realized that First Nations don't want to look at their forests, their communities, and their homes as just structural fire. They want to look at it holistically. So the biggest piece was we need a different approach. So we, like with Finesse, we started 4 pillars for ourselves, and trying to walk with nations to be able to see what do you need, so that way we could take care of our land together. So our place in the structure. So um, with Finesse, we had to break it into pillars. So I'm under the mitigation department. So that's just looking at how we mitigate the problem type thing. So that could be fire smart. I was a wildfire specialist, so that was training and getting communities ready to fight fires with themselves. And just a fun fact, in BC, there's like 204 nations, and we were trying to create like every community, like down to the community member, we're told you're First Nations, you need to be able to take care of your forest type thing. And that puts a lot of pressure on like new generation type thing. Like I didn't grow up really understanding what that meant until I became a firefighter, and I realized, oh, this is the way I could help take care of my forest type thing. Um, so I'm fortunate enough to head in that direction and help the next generation build up what taking care of forests is. Um, every nation is at different levels, so my nation's quite strong in it, which is good. We have a unit crew. We're able to fight fires. We're able to teach what proper burning, cultural burning is. And some nations need that support where they might ask nations. So that's where Finesse comes into place. Is like we have so many different professionals that help build that bridge, see if they're at a high level or if they want help type thing, and we just meet them where they're at. Um, and in the mitigation department, we have to tier down even more. So I don't know. So with structure building, you build hats for positions you need to fill. So we had integrated fire management. So like we're trying to look at risk reduction at a 7th-generation level. So we want to be able to not just look at the today and tomorrow type thing. We want to look at what's a healthy forest look like, what did it look like, where we're at today, and where we want to be in the next 7 generations. So we built a couple different tools to help nations decide that. So we can't answer that question alone. We need every professional in the room type thing, every nation to be able to stand on their in their forest and say, this isn't working or this is working, let's move down this direction. And just knowing that like what I'm seeing in this room is like everybody's heading in the right direction, and it's incredible that the WRCC is like connecting us together. So very happy for that. Threw myself up there. First Nation. So I am Leewat Nation from Statliam Territory. So that is just over the mountains near Whistler, BC. I know some people aren't from BC, and I'm always like, oh, near Whistler or in Leewat or whatever. Not everybody knows that. So yeah, Leewat Nation. There's about 2,300 members in our nation, 1,800 on reserve. I was BC Wildfire Service crew member, crew lead, crew soup. So I did that for 11 seasons on 3 different crews. And the fun thing about these lightning talks is I started on the Thunderstrike crew, and I was like, the thunder doesn't strike, right? So like, what does that mean or whatever? And then I was always like, so the coolest thing was like, they're like, no, where lightning strikes, Thunderstrike follows. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is cool. So when we were doing the lightning talks, I was like, I want to bring that up. Yeah, I was a finesse wildfire specialist for a year and a half, and now I'm the IFM supervisor. A little bit about myself and what are we actually doing. So, University of British Columbia, Okanagan, partnered with Finesse to be able to weave technology and First Nations values. So what does that mean? So the biggest thing about weaving is you have any type of thread, you have any type of hair type thing. You're weaving it together to create a stronger braid. So we're trying to figure out, like, we know that First Nations had a good idea. We led good forests and we took care of the forests. We're in a different age now. We need that technology to be able to help us back that up and figure out where we want to go in the future. So what are we doing? So with this grant, we're moving the bar. So we are working with UBCO and like the IFM team to be able to get sensors, weather sensors into nations, figure out what those nations want those sensors for. So a good example is like First Nations have stories for everything. So one of my stories is we're going up to Owl Mountain, which is Wishkwi Mashkalula, is to pick berries. And like what that is like, we know that it was burned and we know that the berries are big there now. The burn happened like 10 years ago type thing. Those are stories that tell time and the First Nations know, but now we're going to get weather stations in there and figure out why did it need to burn at that time? Why was that important? And just using the technology with the First Nations way of knowing to be able to get through the next 7 generations in a good way. And it's just a picture of me having fun when I was on BC Wildfire Service. Yeah, so like the outcome is weaving these two knowledge systems so that way we could move forward in a good way together. I think that's my 7 minutes. But yeah, thank you guys.